Hey guys, this is Hellhades, back with another Dragon Champions video. Quite honestly, the more I play the game, the more I love the game. And something which has come to light since we've got like 10 Hades Minions guilds now is that there's not a lot of information out there about artifacts. So this is going to be my kind of go-to artifacts, should you get them, and where you should use them. So we're going to get into that in a minute. I've been playing this game now for, 239 days. As I say, we've got a ton of Hades Minions guilds. So, literally, you can come in here and search Hades Minions. And you will find a whole bunch of us. The way to get into one of these is to come into my Discord. It's always linked below. Go down to the bottom of my Discord and there's a Dragon Champion section. Just click on the little emoji in Join Hades Minions and we'll get you into one of the guilds for your level of the game. If you're just starting out the game, when you log in, go into the settings in the top right, go into use promo code and type Hellhades and you'll get yourself a free champion and about $10 worth of free stuff. And be aware that we are often, like several times a week, we're doing Dracoin giveaways, which is the kind of gems in the game. So, all of that is out of the way. Let's get into artifacts. Now, there's only two ways to truly customize your champions in the game. You can do it through your runes, and runes allow you to put on different pieces with stats. So things like speed, potency, etc. The runes also have different sets. So a speed set going together will give you a benefit of 10% extra speed. A potency set, for example, will give you 15% potency. So when you're trying to build up your stats, runes is one big way of doing it. But one of the probably lesser known ways is artifacts. And I have been sleeping on good artifacts for a long time. So what do I look for? Or what? So I've done a ton of research, basically, and I've looked for what are the best artifacts in different rarities. And I'm going to talk you through that in this video. And I've also looked at what should you be trying to put onto different types of champions in terms of artifacts. As a brand new player, you can go into chests. And this is what I spend quite a lot of my coins on more recently. You can go into an artifact chest. Close down, please. You can buy with either 1 for 300 or 10 for 2,700, and you can just buy artifacts no matter what stage of the game you're at. And what it does, it will open them out like this, and you get excited if you see blue or purple pretty much, and obviously you can click through and get them straight away. So what I've got here is 3 of the epics, 3 of the rares, 4 uncommons, and then 3 commons. And obviously they go star rated depending on how good they are. As you open more, your level to get better artifacts levels up. So this time round, I've got now a 4.5% chance of getting an epic instead of a 4. 18% chance of getting a rare instead of 16, etc. Yeah. So now if I open a times 10, I'm hoping I might see some purple. There you go. Got 2 purple ones, which is the epic ones. So the way it works is you get them at level 1, but then if you click into them, you'll see what they would actually do at level 30. So level 30 is kind of like an upgrade system of them. So let's just talk about what I would do for different types of champions then. So if I was going into a defender, which is your tanks, and if I was going in to select their artifacts, so I've got one here which is actually a Tromgar one, but which has got armor and potency on it. I would be looking for things like armor percentage, shield percentage. I'd be looking for potency if they need to land debuffs. So Tromgar needs to land a stun. If they're not landing a debuff, then you might think about tenacity. I would be looking at things like health percentage. And basically, I would then be picking out the different ones that have got those different stats and looking for the right type of additional bonus feature if there is one that's relevant. So, this one here is actually built for Tromgar, but potency built in it. You've got your armor, and then you actually got, what's that second one there? Damage. So it's an okay one for a tank. But that's the sort of things I'd be looking for tanks. If we were talking about a fighter class, so someone who's going to do basically damage dealers. You might be looking in there at damage dealer. Let's pick up my more Doom. And you might be looking for damage percentage, or you might be looking for, let's pick some up. You might be filtering on damage percentage. You might be filtering on crit chance or crit damage. You still want some survivability, so you might go lifesteal, you might go shield, and then start to pick up on some of these pieces. So, if they've got two of those different things that you want, in terms of crit and one other stat that makes sense, then you might pick those up. And then if we were looking at like a healer class, so yeah, for a healer, again, you're just going to be looking for sort of the stats that make sense. So nice amount of shield is good. Nice amount of, if we're looking in the filters, you might be saying, well, I want to see percentage health to get my health up. You might be looking at something like tenacity, so you can't be debuffed. You might be looking for shield or shield percentage. And then you can kind of look through the actives that come alongside those things. So, a big shield, apply a buff that's 30% chance to apply tenacity increase. Some of these different things could be relevant just depending on the type of champions you're looking for. So always consider the stats as a priority and then consider what the abilities are after that. Now we're going to go into look at some of my favorite artifacts in the game. So if you've got champions that you really want to invest in, then artifacts is one of those areas to massively improve the stats. When you're talking about adding percentage points on of armor or of potency or of damage, then 6% damage is actually a considerable amount in the game. So let's talk about the ones which I think are pretty good then. So start off with the uncommons. Mirror of Mists. So Mirror of Mists, this is pretty good for earlier game players as well as kind of mid-game players, I'd say. So firstly, the stats are pretty nice. Extra chance to get crits and lifesteal. So if you're earlier game and you're looking to just sustain through content, lifesteal's nice, crit chance is nice, but the actual the active only activates when you're attacking out of an invisibility. So you kind of need to pair them with somebody like a Kyra that makes your whole team invisible, or you need to put it on someone that's got their own invisibility. People like, it says Ford Cruel. Cruel is actually really good for this, but anyone else that can make your team invisible would be useful. The active only happens once per turn, and basically it's restoring part of your maximum shield. So it's an okay active. The active's not really why I like this one. I like this one for the lifesteal and the crit chance. That's really where it comes into its own. The other ones that I like in the uncommons, Powder of Evolution. So again, percentage damage increase. If you max this out, 4% more damage. Pretty nice. Lifesteal again. So if you're doing damage and you're putting lifesteal out, then for your kind of squishier damage dealers, this could be pretty nice. And yeah, it just kind of gives you that element of survivability. Also, when you receive damage, 20% chance to get regeneration, happens 2 times max in a fight. To be honest, if it's proccing more than 2 times in a fight, you're probably going down anyway. But yeah, for those squishier damage dealers on your team, certainly early to mid game, this can be really useful. Next one then, Lucky Clover I like. So again, lifesteal and potency together this time. So I like this lifesteal part of the rune for earlier, part of the artifact for earlier champions, earlier content. Potency early on is incredibly important. It's actually important right the way through, but early on, incredibly important. So people like your Freezard when you're trying to get your debuffs out, your Zeras, who else is there? I mean, it actually says General Murdoch. If you've got General Murdoch, this is great on him, by the way. It's the one I think I had on him that I just saw. Any goblin, this is really useful for in terms of the active. So 3 times per battle, damaging only one enemy has a 10% chance to increase crit chance. Goblins you want critting consistently, so that's going to be a really useful piece. Mar early on, this is useful for. So yeah, pretty nice, uncommon artifact here. Don't discount how important potency is on your champions, so this one could be useful. What else have we got then? Shabby Bay Je Statuette. What a name that is. That is a mouthful. So basically for this one, I just kind of liked the stats. So nice to get a bit of crit damage. but a good percentage of extra armor. So, you know, if you're talking about any of your tanky characters, this should just go straight on and be a straight stat boost for your tanks early on. Dodging and attack can apply regeneration. Obviously, you know, you would need to be with people that have got dodge. So if you put this on a Salvador and you was putting in with like a Hera, could be quite nice. But generally, it's a tank item, and if the regeneration procs, that's a Brucey bonus. And then the last one, which I want to call out for uncommons, is Steel Leaf. So again, nice extra percentage chance to crits. Big shield for an uncommon piece, 480 to 2,400. That's a nice number. At the end of the turn, restores a percentage of your shield. If you've got invisibility. So again, if you're pairing people with a Kyra, this will be nice, or any of the people that kind of self-invis. But just anything that's restoring shield is going to be helpful just to keep you guys alive for a bit longer. Elves particularly do well here. Obviously, Thalane's pretty cool, but chances are you don't have it yet. Cruel, etc. So that's my view on the best uncommons. A lot of them are quite trash. Like if you've got like straight, just straight flat stats, generally it's unlikely you're going to need it. There's not that many champions that you want to be running tenacity on early on, unless you're literally going for like a full tenacity build. So for me, most important stats are potency, armor, good amounts of percentage damage or percentage chance to crit. Or percentage crit damage. So I'm looking for percentage increases. In terms of the rares then, so quite a lot of rares actually, but for me I'm going to pull out 5 really strong ones. So first one up, Wish Lantern. So this one, high percentage of additional armor, good percentage of additional damage. This one's actually, I mean, it's meant for Kelrian, who's a tank, and I agree with that. Should go with tanks. Defender class generally. Doesn't need to be just Kelrian. Don't think that if there's a name attached to an artifact, that's where it goes. Wrong. Very wrong. You do get additional stats if that happens, but seriously, this one could go on any defending class. The active as well. Active Taunt decreases received damage by 2.4%. Pretty much all of your tanks are going to have Taunt active, so you know you've got a straight damage mitigation as well as a nice percentage of armor and a bit of damage coming off as well. You know, Tromgars, this is great. Salvadors, yeah, any of them really. Titania, any of those tank type classes, I think would benefit from this one. Next one up is Lost Key. Lost Key then. So this one's quite a nice damage class. Rune. I keep calling them runes. Artifacts. Feels like this should be a rune. It looks like a rune, doesn't it? So percentage damage increase. Nice. So for your damage dealers, this is good. A nice little chunk of shield as well at the start if you build this one out. Dealing damage to only one enemy has a 10% chance to apply bleeding. So if you can stack bleeding with people like Snorri, like Revol, like Mar, like Zera, I think this could be pretty useful. Also gives you a bit of shielding if they're a bit squishy and need to get going. People like Mar take a while to get going, so that extra shielding is pretty good. But yeah, just anyone who benefits from bleeds is kind of the best candidate for this one. Next one I like is Desert Vigilance. So it says here for Sergeant Pigwald, that's cool. It's got flat damage, which is probably not a great stat really. But it does come with a large shield, 2.4k, quite nice if you max it out. But I do like the active here. So at the start of the battle, increases max health and shield by 2.4%. So I like that. For Sergeant Pigwald, 4.8, great. But actually for a lot of champions here, that's going to be pretty useful. Tank class, pretty cool. You know, that shield and maximum shield. So it just keeps them alive for longer. And maximum health as well. You're probably stacking shield, you're probably stacking health. So the extra percentage bonus to those two is going to be good. Next one down for me is Steel Leaf. So potency and shield percentage, 2 great stats. For me, this is going to be pretty much your debuffers. So, you know, anyone like Freezard, General Murdoch, anyone who's thrown out a load of debuffs there, you know, and can benefit from this potency, it's great. Dealing damage increases potency by another 0.6%, 4 times per battle, so it kind of scales up. That's an okay increase. I just kind of like the base stats increase on this one. So Steel Leaf, pretty solid. And then the last one in the rares, rares, is Golden Comb. So this one's meant for 90L, it says here. Potency again and shield again, so I like those percentage increases. Suffering a crit has a 10% chance to remove a debuff. So if someone's coming at you and you've got something like decreased defense on you, you take a crit, it pops that off potentially, and that can happen 5 times in a battle. So I think nice for squishier champions that you want to get some potency in. Nice to get that shield as well, and then just like the off RNG chance to protect you a bit more. So pretty cool, Golden Comb. Let's go into the epics then. I'm going to pick out 4. There's a lot of epics here. And so, most of them are reasonable, right? So, yeah, most of them, if you want more potency, you've got some high numbers here. High numbers of damage potential if you max them out. 6% damage is good on any of your attack classes where you're like scaling 2.6, 2.7k upwards of attack. I think that would be useful. The crit chance ones generally are good for goblins, I would think, or anyone where you're trying to scale that crit up, like a Mar or someone like that. But there's a few that really stand out for me. So let's go with the first one then. So yeah, Rose of Hope, basically doing damage restores your shield. So anyone who's doing AoE damage, this scales up and up and up. So any of your nice AoE damage dealers, I think, could deal with this. Any of your healers that do damage would do well with this. So you've got a damage spike and you've got a shield spike, and you get your shield back over time. So really nice one there. Next one I've got is Paladin's Lamp. So big potency increase here by 9 points, 9%, and a nice armor increase as well. And then the active here, each attack on hero turn restores 1.5% of shield per target, but not more than 4.5. Atom restores 5% per target, not more than 15. So for Atom, this is huge, like really, really cool artifact for Atom. But yeah, anyone really, that potency is going to be nice. People like the Goblin classes, I think, would do well with this because they got those AoE hits. Yeah, I feel like this can go on a real selection of different champions and still be strong, as long as you're doing multi-hitting and would benefit from some of that tankiness. But Atom absolutely loves this artifact. Next one for me down is going to be Desert Vigilance. So big damage spike, 6% maximum. Big health spike as well. Killing an enemy increases damage by 4.5%. So even if you've not got the active here of 9%, 4.5% damage increase is good on top of the extra 6 you've already got. And if you forget about the active, it's still good stat growth anyway for any of your AoE, nukers, damage dealers. And then the last one I'm going to call out is Dragon Seeker. Again, big damage boost, big health boost. Landing a critical hit restores shield equal to 6% of the maximum damage dealt. 12% for Snorri. This is a really big ability as well. So you're maxing your damage out, you're getting more of a health pool, and then landing crits is restoring shield constantly. It's not like a once or twice per battle. It's like it keeps going. So I love these ones that don't have like an outer limit. So yeah, when you're looking for your artifacts, think less about the active, think less about looking for the right name, and think to yourself, what stats do I need for this type of champion? Do I need armor? Do I need potency? Do I need shield, etc.? And look for those stats rather than just looking for the name of your champion, which is the thing I used to do. I used to do it right from the start. I was like, right, have I got a Darien one? Have I got an Ember one? It's not the best way to do it unless their stats match up to what you want and unless the active is really cool. So I hope that's been useful, guys. Yeah, if we need to go into more detail on it, then I guess drop me a comment below. Don't forget, if you want to get into the game and join us in the Hades Minions guilds, get your promo code in, Hellhades. Come and join us. It's actually a super fun game. So I've been Hellhades. I'll catch you in a video soon.